I think that's one of the best signals I can get.
You know, if I lose money, I just don't particularly care at the moment.
With 10x my net worth in a month.
I like to make money, but I like to make money trading and winning trades.
All right, welcome back for another episode of the Burrow. Technically our second episode. We got the usual Mr. Talbot here with us. And the guest this week is none other than Runner, arguably my favorite wassie. It's between you and Satstar, I think, on that one. Who's the OG wassie out of you two?
I'd give it to Runner. Sats' little.
Who was a wassie first out of you two?
Fair. I mean, it's not a competition. Comparing me to Satstar, that's pretty disrespectful.
What, to who? To you or Satstar?
Yeah. Hello. Thanks for having me, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Have you been trading today? While we're recording this is the day where there's been a lot of volatility. So are you trading right now?
Yeah, I'm still long BTC, but sweating. Because pretty much entire market decided ETF has been approved for 11th time this month. Like tape, everything looks crazy.
I've been hearing predictions of the price doubling. What do you make of that?
Oof. I mean, from the bottom or from here? Because technically speaking, from bottom it already happened. From the FTX lows and whatnot. Look, I don't know. I don't think I have the, such a higher time frame predictions. I'm probably not good at that. So we are at 37,600 right now, or 700, and to predict 60K. Sure, eventually it's going to happen, but is it going to be on the ETF approval? Is it going to be in the first year from approval? I think it really changes if you're a hodler or investor or day trader like me. It's very different. Yeah, I believe it will hit 60K.
So as far as what kind of signals are you looking for in order to take profit? What are your triggers where that's concerned?
Well, for me, I think a lot of the, obviously this is going to be uploaded later, but from time of recording, 12 hours ago, maybe a bit less. Actually, almost a day now, we had a lot of these ETF bros basically tweeting 11,000 tweets that basically they think there's a high chance that ETF is going to actually come in next 9 days or something. Then we had DB, right? Our friend, tier 10K news reporter, say something similar. And basically since those tweets, you can see it in the order flow or just in general and everything. Basically, Bitcoin just keeps going up, right? So for me, if we do get ETF, I think that's one of the best closest signals I can get. Since we're long from 34K, so
nice.
Looking to close on the actual date of it happening, because I don't think people are gonna get much dips as we've seen last month, right?
So you said you're mainly a short time frame trader.
Yes, that's what I've been doing last 18 months, but it's proven to be a shitty strategy for the last 30 days. I missed on so many gains. Just by being take profit.
Yeah.
So it is
what
it is.
What were you doing before those 18 months? Out of curiosity.
I didn't. I guess is that a question when I started crypto or before crypto?
Yeah, I guess maybe when you started getting to trading and how you got to this kind of point.
Yeah, I first got interested a lot of top buyers in the middle of the bull run of 2020. Or late 2020, I was one of those people who'd go on YouTube and watch somebody like Crypto Banter or BitBoy, I don't know who was relevant back then. And they would say top 5 altcoins to buy. I would buy all 5 of them and I would 10x my net worth in a month. And I was like, yeah, I'm a genius. Then obviously May 2021 happened and I learned the hard way.
So this was your first bull run?
Yeah. But completely clueless,
Yeah.
I'm still clueless, but back then it was at least delusional level clueless.
Yeah.
Now I'm just he made me money. He made a video about Cardano and I bought it. It was I made 7x on Cardano. I don't understand.
Yeah, I did the same. That's so funny.
Unbelievable.
That's surprising to me because I consider you a good trader and most of the people who kind of have that status, this run, like to flex, crypto class of 2017 in their bios and stuff like that. I'm curious, how fast did it take you really to get to a point where you might say you're not a good trader or you're not confident in your trading, but, how long did it take you really to get to that point where you'd consider yourself a trader?
Oof, I think it took me good 2 years, man. Like after May 2021, getting, I don't know how much of profanity I can say, but getting wrecked, to put it politely. I messaged Adam, actually, our friend, a bit
Yeah.
so I was basically begging him for a discount code because I felt like his courses were a bit overpriced for my bankroll back then. So I started learning from him.
Yeah. Our proud work partner, Adam, please lower your prices is the feedback.
No, I agree, man. I won't buy his course for that price, dude. Fuck that.
And I'm looking forward to
use his referral link. I believe he has like a discount, no, for his courses.
He does. So that's a good shout out for anyone interested.
I need to remortgage still, even with a discount for that course.
Yeah. So, Runner, you said you got wrecked. I'd actually love to hear more about that. Like, obviously, about what happened, and like, it's a question we asked CBS as well, like coping with losses, and how that's kind of like influences your mental state and your trading after that. So, could you talk about that?
Well, I guess my type of wreck was basically I was like 85x on one altcoin. So I turned like 500 into like whatever, basically low six figures or something. Yeah. And I basically round tripped to four figures again. So that was, I became, I basically then discovered I can stake this coin. So I'm still staking until this day. No, look, for me, learning with the losses, I guess I think I still have the PTSD of not actually able to hold stuff, even though it's now biting me in the ass, because you could have literally just bought spot Bitcoin and I would outperform my trading, most likely. Something along those lines. So,
what would you say was the recurring mistake you made that you needed to sort of rectify? And how did you sort of implement that into your trading now to where you're sort of successful?
Well, I realized that altcoins actually have no fundamentals.
You sound like Don.
I stopped believing. I think I got my Kool-Aid. No, I mean, a big part of my mantra last 18 months, because obviously the market was trending, right? Bull run, whatever. And then the Jim's appearance on up only was actually something I've done. Take profit, right? That trend. So that's what I've been doing last 18 months. And, these smaller wins, relatively speaking, keep adding up. So, but I do believe, I know these will be uploaded later. I do believe it's kind of time to get back from that mentality, because if I keep taking profit, like swing trades after 3%, I'm missing out on 30% move. And then I'm coping that it's hard to chase green candles and whatnot. So I think one big learning lesson, especially in the last few weeks for me, has been, it's not so black and white, and I need to be able to realize when these conditions change from, I guess, trending market to in a auction market theory, it would be balance, imbalance, whatever, million different ways to call this phenomenon of changing basically market conditions, I guess.
Yeah, I think I speak for the plebs and having a very similar issue where I went from letting everything run and being a rotator to now just PTSD, like as soon as something's up a reasonable percentage, like gone. Maybe might be allergic to making it. So, I mean, like, would you still say, because obviously you've been trading a lot in these conditions, where do you think your strength lies? Do you think you're better when it's easy mode and everything's going up and, the signals are a little bit stronger, or do you quite like for your shorter time frame, do you quite like the choppiness, the ranging? What do you think?
Somehow I managed to, like, when it's easy mode, like right now, or quote unquote easy mode for those who hold, right? I'm better personally in the chop, which I wish it wasn't the case, because I'm like a lot of my edge, I would say, I don't even know if I can call it edge, but was basically shorting a lot of these conferences, right? So you would have a catalyst, you would have like XRP army buying because the CEO is speaking somewhere in Tajikistan or something. He says absolutely nothing and the coin goes down 10%. So this is literally what I was doing, just shorting these back and forth. And if you try that now, good luck. Like you can see something good recent example is Chainlink. They had a conference. It went down like 5% and then it went 2.5x, So if you were stuck in this, it must go down, the conference is over, like you would get absolutely right.
Sell the news.
Yeah, correct, right. The whole phenomenon of buy the rumor, sell the news thing. It's no longer working in these conditions. So you basically right now, I guess the adjustment would be buy the rumor and take profit on the news. That's what I've been doing. But guess what? It keeps pumping after the news. So like I'm here coping with some of these trades. Like I could have made X, Y, Z, the classic mathematics in your head, mental gymnastics coping.
Yeah.
Do you ever think to split your strategies so that you have, an account for those intraday shorter moves whilst you let your other positions run?
Yeah. That's what I've been doing the last few weeks. Basically, I missed the entire move from whatever it was, 27 to 35. Then we had the small retrace to like 2% move, and basically I got swing long, and I'm still on second sub account. I'm scalping these few percent moves, trying to stay basically sharp, not sharpen the tools, but not forget them. Try to still trade these mean reversion trades. I know Jim calls them. I would call them liquidation fades or whatever. So I do both. But I still big believer that just swinging, I would outperform myself, and also thinking of my time as opportunity cost and like the stress that comes with scalping all day. Like you could buy spot, right, and just play golf, go for a run, chill with your family, shit post on Twitter, instead of I'm here sitting on 1 minute chart with Agar and order flow and sweating. So,
well, how much are you trading a day, out of curiosity?
I think that's you cannot really answer this. Sometimes when I hear people say I take 10 trades a day, I know automatically they don't trade. I can have a week when I don't do anything, and then I have a day when I, like YGG, for example. This is going to be uploaded in a long time, so I can talk about it because it's like 100 million market cap shitcoin. I took like 15 trades in the last 2 days on it.
Yeah.
And it has it's super liquid, but it's some GameFi token with a conference coming up. So it was pretty easily.
Got it. Yeah.
I took a lot of trades, for example. So basically some days I'll do zero volume. Some days I'll do, $10.
Do you have a structured approach to how you sort of approach each trading day with regards to like determining setups that you want to see, etc., and when you actually spend time at the screens, things like that?
And I think one of the first things I look at is obviously ETH BTC for me, because we've seen it last few weeks with ETH BTC. If it's down only, very few altcoins actually outperform Bitcoin. Like today is a great example, right? Like Bitcoin is ripping, Solana is doing well, and some of the main strong coins. But a few days before we had ETH BTC going up, so you had some like DeFi shit coins like Arbitrum did well, for example. So this is my when I wake up, I want to see, is this environment to be trading whether like risky shitcoin plays and whatnot. And I do like to use calendars a lot. What I mean by that is I have for today's, November 8th, 9th. I have a calendar for every day that's coming for next 30 days, which conferences, which coins have catalysts, V3 launch, XYZ. And just based on order flow, I can, and like mentions on crypto Twitter, I can tell if people are talking about it or not. Some of the, for example, Arbitrum trade, we were trading it when nobody was really talking about it. And 2 days later, you have people everybody on Twitter, Kalo, Saka, all these guys talking about it. For me, that's okay, it's time to be looking to exit soon.
So when it comes to determining trades, what comes first for you? Is it that sort of fundamental thought process when it comes to, determining catalysts for altcoins, or is it the technical, which has more bearing for you on the trade execution?
In current conditions, definitely fundamentals, because I would consider these conditions right now as buy high, sell higher season. So if I was waiting, for technical retest or cluster, I've seen myself miss trades just because I was just waiting for some retest, and just like Bitcoin right now, it's just literally zero entry. You either market buy or you're stuck, which is difficult after 18 months or whatever of choppy market. I think that's the biggest struggle of mine right now.
Just adapting to it.
Chase.
Yeah. Because I was curious because kind of on this note of adaptation, when did you become an event-based trader? Because that seems to be whether it's the calendar or you're looking at conferences and stuff like that. Has that been your focus maybe since the start, or is that something you kind of discovered?
Well, one of my very first trades when I kind of understood I could maybe become a trader or at least give it a shot was Luna Classic last year. When I had the opportunity to discuss the trade in great detail and actually had him as a mentor to some sorts from GCR. So, and that trade was absolute banger. It went 5x and then basically minus 80%. It was the first proper P&L I made, something that would be holy shit, this is interesting, and then I lost it all on FTX. So, but no, that trade was basically, it's interesting because my motion is you have a catalyst with a specific date, right? Specific day and place, and you have community, let's call them counterparty, and you see how they get excited over something, and you basically fade their emotion. They're just like basically not giving kids gifts for Christmas situation.
What do you get off from that? Like imagining your counterparty on every trade.
Well, but I mean, they've taken. No, I mean, some of these, I think the last detail on this thing, like every community is a bit different. Like with meme coins, like Shiba, I don't know, Luna Classics, the people are basically, their thinking or IQ is, if my coin goes to $1, which Ferrari I'm buying, right? That's the low unit bias. Like completely unrealistic mathematics in their head and like valuations and whatnot. So these are my favorite tokens to trade.
Oh, I love this. Yeah,
definitely.
I love the idea of like you allocating each altcoin like a different behavior based on how you like see their communities. Like, do you have that just kind of all mentally logged? Like you have coins, which react certain ways.
Mm-hmm. Like I would say, even this Bitcoin move just shows that there's a lot of inefficiencies in this market. I would guess otherwise, but yeah, some communities are definitely more likely to cope than others.
Okay, got
it.
And
like I don't know, you've definitely seen the XRP, right? XRP to $589.
Yeah, classic. Biggest market cap in the world.
Do you think it's the sort of, because this is an important part of my system, is I don't know how much journaling came into it, but how much of the sort of introspection into your own mistakes with regards to community and stuff has allowed you this sort of insight into other communities and almost like a sense of pessimism, I guess, that you can actually find edge from, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I think I've basically tried to become a community member. Like I don't join their community Telegram chats to on them. I try to join like where can I learn more, and I basically become friends with like 2 or 3 holders, and they will basically tell me, oh, this YouTuber is good, So when you watch YouTube on 1.5x speed, which is always good, so you can basically see what type of news they're looking out for, right? So for example, with XRP, it has been that Ripple, the company, will go for IPO, which is complete bullshit because back then they had lawsuits with SEC. So like these type of things. So I would try to journaling is definitely important. And I just I think in a lot of ways I'm pretty lazy. I just trade few coins that I know I can trade well, if that makes sense. But a lot of social media research. It's like that's where these people are, right? If I'm trying to trade a community of future bag holders, as like I like to call them.
Do you still journal now?
Oh yeah, I do.
And as far as like structuring your journal, because this is one thing I'm interested in, is a lot of people, people's journals generally are quite different. What kind of approach do you have to journaling? Like, what's an important metric for you that you need to sort of document?
Well, for me now, one of the biggest thing is my confidence level before taking the trade, and then like retrospectively looking at it, because there's a good correlation between, let's say, my biggest winners and how much confidence I had, but not confidence because of the sheer, like me looking into mirror, flexing my double biceps and be like, yeah, I'm a smart guy, but like me actually putting in the time into research and trying to actually learn. And obviously on the opposite side, like some losing trades is just retrospectively seeing that I could have done more, So I always try to blame it on myself because I think that's a big issue I see with traders. When, market is wrong.
Blame it on stuff that isn't in their control. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I can plug because you guys worked with CMM as well, but it's definitely helping.
Nice,
you can, in CM Coin Market Manager, you can basically filter your biggest losers, and like you'll always find some patterns. So, like let's say, I'm going to make this up, but let's say longs that I held over 2 weeks are usually most likely to lose. So then I try to dissect, is it probably me holding or martingaling into some bullshit position, etc. So I don't want to call it autistic, but I find patterns in pretty much everything I do. I try to do that.
I actually use Windows Notepad for my journaling, so shout out Windows Notepad. Use code Gates for 10% off.
When I tried to become a trader, I think I journaled for like 3 hours. And then I was like, that was just too much work. I'm going to go back to just getting wrecked. I'll just go back to buying shitcoins.
Sinfully boring part of trading.
I know, God, yeah.
But it's probably the most important.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's one thing that, like, failing traders, I think one of the main reasons traders fail is there isn't enough introspection, self-reflection, and critical sort of analysis on themselves. Because most people don't want to... I think the best traders I know, they only focus on the negatives of themselves and their character, how they execute and stuff. The positives kind of, you never really pat yourself on the back. The best traders, I don't think. You're just always in that mentality of how can I improve this a little bit.
It's important, I think, to try to basically take less shit trades. I had months where I took very few trades, try to only replicate the best trades in a way, like only waiting for that type of setup. Might help too. Maybe, I don't know, some people might find different stuff useful. But I try not to trade for the sake of trading. I would put it this way.
Well, yeah, you wait for the things you're good at.
Yeah.
We were like kind of mentioning like external factors a bit. And I think it would be remiss not to talk about running with you, considering that is your whole pseudonym, everything is built around the fact that you like running. Is that something you picked up because of the woes of crypto and how hard on you that was? Or was running first or was crypto first?
God bless, and not because of like mental health issues. No, I was running before crypto.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a correlation maybe between your performance and running?
Well, yeah, because I think Jim probably has significantly more experience than me, but I believe like if you go to the day trading with like a shitty day, maybe something happens in your real life or just situationships, like life happens, right? And your trading might have negative effect. So obviously let's put it this way, you wake up, first thing you do is your workout or run, and it helps your day, boosts cleans your head. I think that's definitely a good start. Or at the end of the day, you just, let's say you had a bad losing day, you can reflect a lot during the runs. It's hard. It sounds like me selling snake oil, but to me, it's like the most effective form of therapy, of like meditation. It's when I had a really bad trade, I'll go without music, without podcast, and I'll just to a point where I might get hit by a car because I'm so in my head thinking about stuff.
Well, on the contrary, do you find that crypto can influence your running as well? Like the quality of your trading results in a different quality of run?
Well, sometimes when you're FOMOing hard, you might have a feeling you must sit at the computer at all times. Well, that's never the case. So you might not, skip a workout because XYZ is going to happen. And usually it's just a made up construct in your head, I think.
Do you structure your running regime similarly to how you trade? Yeah, unfortunately. And do you have any goals with your running with regards to racing or anything like that?
Well, I used to do ultramarathons.
Really?
Basically
like 100 miles?
Anything. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That would be cool. I would love to do 100-miler. But, it's not really a hobby at that point. It's like a lifestyle, really.
Yeah.
Obsession. Like you don't run 100-mile rounds to wait. You have to run. You have to put in the time. And then we're talking 2 to 3 hours per day at least of running.
Yeah.
And maybe on weekends, like 5-6 hours of running. So
I don't know if I ever told you running, but that used to be my main sport was like 5Ks. And I found that because that used to be the sole focus of my life was running. And I traded the best when that was my sole focus and not the trading. The trading kind of supplemented around the structured sort of running schedule I had. But then I got lazy and injured.
Yeah, the injuries are the motherfucker, right? It really fucks up with your head when you I had a surgery earlier this year when my trading was the worst when I was waiting for the surgery because I couldn't run, was unhappy.
Yeah. It's really hard to supplement that cardio as well. How many miles a week do you do?
Well, currently I do between 60 and 70 kilometers.
Okay.
And probably there's going to be a peak for a bit because at 100K a week, it's starting to become, unfortunately, too time sensitive. Like too time demanding, it would be
Yeah,
not much.
Yeah. God, you make me feel lazy. I think I can only run about 3K if I tried. My cardio is horrendous.
Do it every day, right?
Yeah.
If you do it every day,
I used to have
then
to do 2 runs a day some days.
yeah.
Just to get more mileage, and I do miss it. But when you like go from like serious level of fitness to like barely any, it's so demoralizing because you just want to you want to go out for like an 8-10 miler, and you've got to start with 1-2 milers, and it's just like, oh fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But you get back quick. I think that would be the best thing about it. Like you might go 6 months without any training, literally zero, and in 2 months you're back. Not fully, but like you progress super fast. So I think that's also super motivating. Like when you see results like immediately almost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always...
Have you ever taken a big break in your trading, like in a similar way?
No, not yet. But I'm actually contemplating it right now. Like literally.
Why is that?
Well, I guess the biggest reason is I've been scalping a lot, and I have this emotional battle of it's completely stupid, but I feel like I could have performed better if I just simply held. So I guess overtrading, overthinking stuff. So
do you get caught
I personally
up on,
not chasing.
But do you get caught up a lot on what you could have done better, and like, oh, I should have just held, or do you sometimes get hung up on the retroactive stuff?
Well, it's definitely better than it used to be, but I try to always like learn from the stuff I could have done better. It's I will not hold it against myself, and like I hate myself and trying to harm myself because I did something wrong. But like, what could I do next time not to do it? Because some of these mistakes I'm repeating, especially in trending markets like right now. And if I've done the same thing in January and in June this year, then I'm like, I have to be like 3 times in 1 year doing the same mistake. Come on, man. Like, if I'm full-time trading and then I fail to recognize the trending market and trade it as like a chop, like what am I doing? I should know better, basically. That's in my head.
Is that something you've gotten better at?
But then I go for a long run and I'm completely fine. So.
Nice. Is that something you've gotten better at with dealing with? Like maybe, when you were first getting started, you beat yourself up a bit more.
Maybe even no. Maybe in the beginning I was more of like, markets are manipulated, market makers are hunting my stops.
Everyone else.
Yeah. I think it's like that's the classic curve, right? In the beginning, you think you're a genius, then it humbles you, and then you start to learn. So in the beginning, I think I thought that market is wrong. Elon Musk and China banning mining was manipulating the markets and whatnot. So
are you full time?
Yeah, I'm full time crypto.
And what were the sort of what's the word? Teething problems, I guess. Like when you transitioned to full time crypto, were there any sort of stumbling blocks? Or you get that added pressure of it having to sustain you over a job. Was that transition quite easy, or what?
Yeah, for me it was easy, but I'm not sure if this is applicable to many people. Because before crypto, I had several businesses, so I had like cushion, financial cushion to kind of not give a if I don't, say it was never really I need to pay rent situation, and this type of pressure I cannot imagine. Trading under these conditions when like if I don't make whatever, let's say 1K this week, I cannot pay rent. I think this is absolute red flag. Quit trading immediately, get a job. And it's impossible. Oh God.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from traders. Yeah, it's like if you're in a position where you will have that external pressure, you should try and get into a position where you don't. Like I remember GCR had that famous quote, I think it was him, where it was like, you should all just be getting jobs and putting as much into like Bitcoin as you can, or something like simple like that. Because I think people, like a lot of people, and this is for a good reason, want to become better traders and they want to make it their career. And crypto's always been that thing that could potentially offer financial freedom. But, that's the lesson I think a lot of people preach, is you shouldn't rush into that. Because these pressures alone, will just make it almost impossible unless you're a very rare anomaly who can deal with those sort of pressures. I'm quite interested to ask you more questions on that, on the note of pressure and stuff. Obviously we can edit this out if you're not comfortable talking about it, but would you be comfortable talking about the prop you trade for?
Yeah, sure. Like, obviously I'll just keep my answers very,
You don't have to say a name or anything like that, but I think it'd be interesting. Like how long have you been doing that for?
Well, now, what is it? What is the month? Like 13 months.
Oh, wow. Do you find, like,
I think in the early stages.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, like in early stages, I guess with a lot of these props that you either do online, like or in person, it's like a process that takes time. You know, like you start with smaller account, you build up the bankroll over time. You basically call it like a trial period, right? Because a lot of people who can talk, or even on CT, like sell this identity. I'm like a leaderboard trader, but then you get an account and you fucking liquidate it 3 times in a row. Even though it's $1,000, like you might not get a chance. So it's like a process until you get the proper account.
Do you find you trade better when it's not your own assets?
Oof, that's a good question. Yes and no. It's always obviously more scared to take losses. Obviously, like, the entire risk management, and also my personal bankroll is obviously significantly smaller than what I could trade at work. So it's very different. To give an example, the same trade YGG, the last one I took, with my own funds, I can kind of YOLO. And at work, I might actually have liquidity issues, or like
that's so
filled
interesting, because I feel like
exiting.
a lot of people would say, like, with their own assets, they'd be a lot more cautious because, it's like that's your money. But I guess, with the prop, there's kind of that almost like external factor as well. Might make you less reckless because it's not yours to lose. Like, people will be comfortable going on a casino and punting $1,000 on black, but if it wasn't your money, you might be a little bit cautious about that. Your props in.
I think there's two.
Oh, go on.
I think there's 2 types of people where that's concerned.
People with empathy and people without empathy.
Yeah, and I think the people that make the most money generally don't have that sort of care for other people's money.
Yeah.
And they generally will fail harder, but they'll also succeed harder.
Well, it's such a funny... I was taught growing up that... Not taught, but you see it in pop culture, like, the sociopaths are the ones who make it. But I feel like crypto and just actually life in general, like the team players, I think, perform better. Like, Runner, you mentioned, with Adam, after your big hit, you spoke to him, and I'm sure, maybe you could speak a bit more about that, like how that impacted you.
Well, I guess when I got hit back then, I tried to give myself a chance, to actually learn it, because you take a loss, and I understood that I knew nothing in the learning curve, and I'm like, okay, let me try to learn for real. And I just basically made the bet on myself that I will be able to learn something, not to become, I don't know what. But I guess, and it's been now almost 3 years now, 2.5 years. Just basically I never really gave up on I longed myself, if that makes sense. Because I had the cushion, and I thought I could learn it. Basically my idea always was, when I've seen how many people made money in crypto who I didn't consider that intelligent or that skilled, I was like, I have to somehow, one way or another, make it. So...
Yeah. Did you have like a circle?
I don't want to turn this into motivational.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. Honestly, it's pretty.
Like believe in yourself. Believe. Yeah. If you're not long yourself, you will never make anything in life. It doesn't matter if it's fitness, business.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Did you have like much of a trading circle, like a social circle, in those times, like people you discuss charts with, or people you looked for education? I know you mentioned Adam's courses, but maybe more on a personal basis.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like a lot of these, Discord and Telegram group chats, but I think they can believe a bit of echo chambers, which can be super, super dangerous. You basically always will be looking out for confirmation bias stuff.
Yeah.
On Twitter as well, like, there's people who just want to follow perma bears or perma bulls, and I think it can be dangerous. So I was in groups, but retrospectively, I'm not sure how beneficial it was to myself. Because I also believe copy trading others is one of the worst things you can do.
How do you
blindly copy trading?
So I was going to say, how do you make sure you're not falling into those echo chambers? Like, how do you avoid that?
I left all age group chats.
How about on your Twitter? How about on your Twitter feed?
No, I don't give a shit.
You just ignore it.
I log into Twitter to shitpost and like I know it sounds selfish or like arrogant, which is fine. Look, whenever I go on Twitter and let's say everybody's talking about the coin, I know I could get like a FOMO and start looking when it was not my thesis, which is not that everything needs to be my own idea and be this like, I'm in charge of everything. I just personally am not a fan. Look, there are people that I religiously believe and follow. So I don't know.
Who are
some
they?
of these people maybe.
Name names.
For me, GCR.
Fair enough.
And Donald, I like, meaning when they post or speak, I listen to their opinion. Doesn't mean I'll blindly copy trade them. But you know what I mean? So, but like, it's not like I have 11,000 people on notifications. Oh, this guy longed XYZ. Oh, oof, stopped out because I longed the resistance. You know what I mean? It's just, this is definitely scale this back down. And I hate the concept of like people calling other people counter signals and whatnot. Everybody has their style. Everybody's just trying to make their money. Like a lot of people have something to sell you anyways. So I think when you recognize that, when you're in crypto Twitter and some of these group chats, I
think it's something that needs. It's one of the worst parts of CT is this. You can't just have a contrasting opinion like without people disliking you for it, as opposed to just disagreeing with the actual opinion. It's like they really need you to be a part of that herd, and it's.
They'll put you into a camp. Is he a bull or is he a bear? Like that's basically those are the two obvious ones.
And that's so stupid, right? Because first of all, you can change bias. There's nothing wrong with that. So maybe I longed something the next day. It's just so silly. That's why I know it's cringy because I tweet like 11,000 times a day, but I really tweet and I log off. I don't really read notifications. I muted the notifications. I really think of it as me screaming into the void. Somebody might like it. Somebody might call me an idiot. And I wouldn't disagree. I do believe big time I'm an idiot. But
is that something you would recommend? Sorry, go on.
No, that's it.
Okay, I was going to say, is it something you would recommend like a newer trader to do? Because I think there's definitely an argument to shutting off the noise, but maybe it's also a place where they might find education.
I think the number one thing a new trader should do is make sure tomorrow he can start the day with a balance, meaning like not go super degen, don't get liquidated. That's step one. And just be patient. I think our job this thing we do, when you're new, you might think like, oh, this guy made $1 million this week. You know, I'll be this next guy with $1 million, and just get comfortable with the idea. It might take you years. Like there's no short, just like, let's say with Jim, Jim is now going to gym. That rhymes, right? Or like now maybe he used to go in the past, but like you're not going to get to Ronnie Coleman level squats in 6 months. No matter what gear you're doing, no matter what you're snorting or eating.
You just crushed my dreams, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Join my paid group. You might, but like just the whole idea of being patient, I guess. And that doesn't matter even if it's GCR or Donald, I would never blindly copy trade. I would more try to hear what they're saying. And, you know, this is such a hard question to answer. Just survive,
I
guess,
think those two are great examples for what others should do with regards to like building, you know, the reason you respect those two is because they create their own thoughts and opinions and biases, and they don't care what anyone else thinks. There's too many people trying to find edge in copying other people's opinions as opposed to finding their own in the first place and having conviction in it. That's like the key to any trading. You've got to find your own edge and own style and have your own thoughts and ideas as opposed to trying to implement other people's thoughts into your own trading system, you know.
You slammed the desk with passion there.
I don't know what I did then. Says Ronnie Coleman thighs hitting the desk, man.
Everybody's different, right? Like in terms of, I don't know, say you're a young impressionable male, right? You might, I don't know, especially like I'm getting old myself, but I don't know how like a 19-year-old thinks these days. You know, they're on TikTok, they follow Andrew Tate, they think, oh, this guy made a lot. You know, it's hard. I don't think there's a generic answer for this question. I guess the patience is virtue for sure for everybody.
Yeah, I guess people look for where the success is and kind of construct their opinions based on that. One thing I really want to pick
is I think the thing is people need to realize that you can create a thesis and an opinion and it can be wrong. But the thing you've got to document is whether it's wrong or not, and then you learn from it, and then you can start building better thoughts and opinions, you know. But it's like, this is the thing. Build a thesis. Be like, right, I'm short in Bitcoin here because that's what I think should be done. And then even if it's just a hypothetical idea, you journal it, and you find out if your thoughts and opinions and ideas are right or wrong, and then you adapt them. I just think people avoid being wrong. But you should almost strive to be wrong because it's the only way you learn. You don't really learn much from being right. The thing that my mum always taught me was aim to fail, and you can never be disappointed.
Explains your golf game.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Dude, holy that was. By the way, I used to play golf as well. Actually, competitive. I'm much better golfer than runner.
Well, it's quite interesting. I feel feel like we have a lot in common, even in just trading style, mentality, and everything. Quite interesting. Why do I feel like my headphones have just broken?
No.
Maybe one thing I could actually, with the patience side of things, is when I first started, I followed, let's say, a certain group of people. I'm not going to drop names to create conflicts, but like I would follow some people, and I would think like, holy, these guys are good. And now looking back, I'm even the same example with BitBoy, right? Like in the beginning, it's just, I think it's also try to retrospectively look at myself, at my decisions, and learn from that. And it's normal to, kind of, just because you lose to like BitBoy doesn't mean you have to ride for them till forever, and try to always like, I actually oftentimes when I was bearish, I tried to look for bull thesis, like to see what I could have missed basically. Yeah. In this PvP cringe environment, you could like see what could be my weakness, I guess.
Yeah. That was a trap I had to escape, was when I was really bullish, 2021 or 2020, and seeing bears posting, I'd be like, oh, don't want to follow that guy anymore. And then it got to a point where I was like, those are the people I wanted to follow. Like, I was so sick of all the talk that agreed with me, and I was like, I'm just going to look at the feeds of the guys disagreeing, like Imperator, I think his name was. He was like Giga
Millions.
Yeah, he was Giga Bear, and like I found it so fascinating because he had the most conviction I've ever seen. So I was just very fascinated. One thing I really, really like wanted to pick up on was when you said, when you called crypto a job, you laughed. I'm actually curious why you find that funny.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's a bit of PTSD, but I almost nobody in my real world actually knows what I do.
What do you tell them?
I'd rather tell them I've
just say you work for
I'd rather tell them anything.
You guys can just say you work for
I guess
next
a bit
time.
of it is embarrassment. It's maybe, I don't know if it's embarrassment or it's just like, I think the amount of money you can make in this industry is to a certain degree unfair.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I don't know, people like I'm not gonna, Jesus Christ, I sound like some protester from Berlin or from San Francisco right now, environmentalist, but it's just, I don't know. And the industry, I think OGs in crypto had actual values, anarchists and whatnot, and now it's super fueled by greed. That's how I see it. And I'm definitely part of the problem. Like, I'm not here to claim moral ground. It's just,
it's been a shitty shift over the last year as well. People are looking for the next catalyst just for the pump, as opposed to when I first got into this.
In it for the tech.
And I was the same. I love everything. I still love everything at a fundamental standpoint from like what Bitcoin is as a thing. But the thing that makes me kind of not bullish on the thing is the way that people actually interact with it. It's the interaction of people that kind of makes me bearish on it. And I hope that changes over time. But, I think when I got in, people were less bothered about losing money back in the day as well, because we all had this fundamental belief that Bitcoin was great. There's like a purity to, like the Bitcoin in its purest form is like, it's just pure. There's a real purity to it. But then it's obviously the interaction of people that kind of taints it. So,
well,
I think for me, on this point, just like quickly, I said I'm relatively new generation, but I've met some people who are and worked closely with people who are, let's say, from class of 2012. Like actual OGs. And it's, when I speak to these people on like fundamentals and how they see world, it's so inspiring. And it's like, wow, I know why these people got excited in the first place. And then I talk to these people and be like, use my reflink runner on Vuex. Obviously I'm guilty myself again, but
good man.
But you know what I mean? It's just different.
I mean, like what runner, what are you bullish on? Are you like not necessarily, I mean, could be price wise. You just said earlier in the pod that all altcoins are which isn't, too far-fetched of an opinion.
They are leverage. They're Bitcoin leverage.
Yeah, just with a bit of extra beta. But I'm curious what you're bullish on. NFTs, maybe? I don't know.
Oh hell no! What the fuck?
No, but what are you bullish on?
I'm bullish on human greed, like in terms of what I would hold forever, type of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if that's how you want to interpret
ETH,
it. Yeah.
I think Bitcoin, ETH. I'm getting
Bitcoin
old,
and
man.
ETH, or
Like,
mainly ETH?
both. I like both.
Yeah.
I think he's trash, man.
Do you? That seems to be a more like a year ago. It was such a different sentiment, and now it's like ETH has lost the limelight.
I just hate, like, for me, ETH had the potential. This is another problem with crypto as a whole, is it's trying to generate value for people to buy it and make money. And I think Ethereum had the potential to be one of the best products as far as being a transactional unit of currency. But instead, they went along the route of it being a store of value at the same time, which negates its potential as just a unit of exchange. Because the higher in value it goes, the more useless it is as a unit of exchange, because it just becomes completely inexpensive. Sorry, expensive. You know, I think, you know, and this is the problem. This is a problem. Like, no one wants to build anything fundamentally sound. No one wants to build an inflationary currency that loses value, which then sort of what's the word? Editor, cut. I'll put a clap in. Incentivizes people to spend it. Yeah, because if you make an inflationary currency that's actually a good unit of exchange that's cheap to transact with, there's no value proposition for anyone because people don't want to lose money.
No, exactly.
And it's that kind of thing that's annoying because it's, you know, people are building stuff purely for people to speculate on the idea of this sort of
Ponzi-nomics,
as opposed to actually building something useful. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, it's the sad reality of like kind of fundraising, how these companies actually make money, right? They do go for token to either slow rug. We can maybe cut this off. Like, I don't want to be on the industry, but like you're like, right? You do a round, you raise money, you need to do a token essentially. You kind of need to.
Yeah, there's no equity to
or
give.
Like, yeah, exactly. So like you have to. It's unfortunately how, and let's be real, a lot of things don't need a token.
Oh, yeah.
But that's 99% for a different podcast.
Of the projects don't need a token.
So that's, I guess, my big issue is like, and with, again, I'm not going to try not to drop names or whatever, but like, I try to get tokens that have actual use case, not, again, I'd rather shut the up for now. Too slippery slope.
What's your thoughts on sort of SocialFi going forward?
I think it can be interesting. I know I worked for, probably also can cut off because we had this conversation in private menu, right? I think it can work as a quote unquote full-time trader or full-time in crypto. I just would have to talk to people who would be actually the ones investing in potential vaults or other people, right? So like I would need to do more research on that, but I think it has legs. I know copy trading is a big thing. And people love to track on-chain wallets and whatnot. I think it can work. It's just the communities, everything with communities and like NFTs. My unfortunate assumption is everybody's here for the money. So same with NFTs, right? NFT floor goes up. It's the best collection ever. God forbid floor goes down. Then devs are hackers, they're scammers, they're rug pulls. It's like you cannot win. You basically must have coin number go up. Otherwise, it's just, it's a difficult one. Like, I don't envy builders. That's how I would put it. I'm happy to be just a speculator, to one maybe help contribute somewhere, hopefully help promote, like from the marketing standpoint. But I don't envy builders, and kudos to them. Props to them. Mad props to them for trying.
I've been through the trenches on that front. I mean, like Kobe had that thread. Remember his like bear market prediction or something, or the next bull run prediction. And he was calling out the projects that were very short-term focused because their entire user base community will be built upon short-term speculators. So as soon as goes sour,
short-term, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. I think there's a few exceptions, and I think those are the ones which we've seen kind of survive.
XRP.
Yeah, of course, Cardano, the best. Bitcoin, Satoshi's vision. If we're talking about good tech. So yeah, do you do much spot speculation, Runner? Like, do you own a couple altcoins? Or are you really allergic to all that stuff?
Well, literally during this stream earlier today, I sold my spot ETH And just during the stream, I didn't want to scream and interrupt. BlackRock filed for Ethereum ETF. So it spiked like 15%. And I'm just looking on second monitor, literally crying and dying inside. At least I longed a lot. So I made a bunch of money, but I'm just, you asking me about breaks. This was a confirmation I need a break. I held ETH like a king when ETH BTC was going to zero.
Yeah.
Now I would have made a bunch of money and I sold just before the stream. Oh my God.
It's our fault. Get your claim into Woo, they'll reimburse you. Who's paying?
Who's paying? How long are you planning on breaking for? Or is it you can take it as it comes?
Oh no, I'm just being like a emotional white girl summer, like I'll do my long run and I'll be back trading 1 minute chart.
You'll be back tomorrow. Today. I'll see you in the books.
Go get a paddy money and just calm down for it. Go watch a rom-com.
I'll be fine. It's like, guys, how it is. It's a prison, right? You cannot really escape. Like, why, Jim? I know this is interview with me. Like, why are you still here? I don't mean on this podcast. I mean, like...
I was going to say, there's 5 minutes left. That's why.
I have a morbid fascination with just human psychology. And for me, the best sort of way to observe that in sort of real time has been markets. So even when I'm not trading, I'm interested in just seeing how people engage and interact with markets, because I think just people in general are the most interesting thing.
Interesting.
As far as trading goes, though, I think my issue with trading at the minute is I'm not holding myself too accountable at the minute. I don't particularly have that care at the minute for making mistakes and stuff. That hunger's kind of gone for me. So I'm trying to sort of reignite that hunger and sort of critical sort of eye on myself, because I'm at the point now where I'm so dead inside.
Yeah, exactly, right.
that I just don't, if I fucking lose money, I just don't particularly care at the minute. I don't particularly care if I win money. So I need to figure out a way to basically start learning again. Because that's what, that's all it's about. I like it when it's sort of fresh and difficult. It's not that difficult. It's more...
It's like challenging yourself, right? Keep pushing yourself, not being comfy like, yeah, this is the thing I can do. I can survive off of this money. Oh, I mean, that's why you picked up gym, right? So you can actually go for Ronnie Coleman personal record on the squad. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, and that's kind of why I'm in the gym now, because I know that if I build that structure outside of trading, it'll then sort of brush off into, getting back into the markets again. But yeah, it's I just got no interest in trading really at the minute, but I still love talking about markets. I could talk about markets forever, to be honest.
I think it's very impressive that you've said it multiple times that you're not like necessarily day trading right now, but you're still active. That you can basically control do you ever have the urge to click? Like sometimes you're like, I might as well, even if it's a small position, just punt, or you just, how do you just stay completely unfazed?
I don't know. I think it's just my sort of personality type. I get obsessive over certain things, and trading's either an obsession or it's not. I can't really do it passively. It doesn't work for me. I either need to be as obsessed as I am about going to the gym now, or as I was about golf as I am trading. It needs to be the sole focus, really. Like, as far as it, no, it's not even about being the sole focus. It's just, I struggle at the minute to get into a very sort of productive sort of tunnel vision with my trading, basically. And again, and to be honest, I know we're going up and, we're trending up, but there's actually not particularly great flow for me to execute and trade effectively. Like the flow is very much sort of one or two individuals, entities lifting the price into a maker or whatever. There's not actually much two-way directional flow that I can actually sit and enjoy trading. I prefer trading against people as opposed to bots and fucking TWAPs, to be honest.
What is your take on the flow last few weeks?
I just think it's pretty toxic. I mean, I think it suits and favors someone that has conviction in the upside that just wants to hold a spot bag. But that's not me. for me, it's not about like making. Obviously, I like to make money, but I like to make money trading and winning trades. For me, it's like a computer game, and I'm not really able to play the computer game that I want to play at the minute, so I just don't play it.
Yeah, it's like the quote from the movie, right? Like the best move is not to play, or something like that. The quote. It's one of those, yeah. So you're basically good at recognizing when it's your conditions and when it's not.
Yeah. People can call me a salty sideline all they want, but I'm sidelined because I don't want any exposure at the minute. People seem to find that really difficult. Yeah. But I like high participation markets where I'm sort of knowingly taking money off stupid people, as opposed to following a large entity in the market that's dictating price. I find it so uncomfortable to just follow like a small sort of entity as opposed to.
It was like Runner was saying earlier. Like he just picks the coins where he knows his counterparty. He knows how they're going to react to the event. Easy going.
It's very similar, right? It's very similar, I guess, on paper.
Yeah, it's no different to. It's like computer games. I like it when there's like a match full of people that I can beat. I like beating people in that sense. I don't like just sort of following. I'm not here just to sort of passive. It just doesn't interest me, especially now. I don't need the money, so when it comes to doing it, I want to do it out of pure enjoyment because the flow's there.
But that's what I maybe just to add a close on the topic is I think that's a lot of people don't understand. You a lot of times get the comments from somebody who might have like 5 figures to their name, and it's not to bag shame anybody or bankroll shame anybody, but like they might not understand that, hey, I really don't care if I don't make money right now. Like it does not change my life. I want to play golf today. I legitimately I made the money to enjoy life, not to be constantly, what is the next trade, And in a lot of ways, there's so much freedom. Like for me, it's only I can do run on New York Open and I don't give a and that feels so refreshing to me. I know that's not a massive win, but it's a big win to me. I don't have to be trying to click first 30 minutes of New York session to catch whatever trending, whatnot. Like, that level of stress is off my shoulders and it feels, I gotta vouch for what Jim said. It feels good.
Yeah. It's just much easier for me to trade against sort of people manually executing as opposed to passively executing. There's just not many market orders going through as far as people clicking. Like a lot of people clicking orders. You get such a deeper depth of data when it's a fast tape speed of like actual traders. Whereas at the minute it's just a progressive sort of. Because this is the thing. Like, yes, we're going up, but a TWAP is supposed to minimize market impact. But it's not. The reason it's not minimizing market impact currently is because they're not trading against anyone. They're trading against the maker. Yeah. So you get this toxic passive flow that just consistently goes up and up and up because no one's trading against it. So the makers just keeps lifting the offer, and the guy TWAPs into it, and it's just not my kind of market to trade. But I think when I say that, people seem to take it as Jim's salty, everyone's making money and he's not. It's like, no, I make your money how you want to make it. If you've got a big spot bag and you make fucking bank, good for you.
More power to you.
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
Yeah. All right, gents. Well, I think we just passed the hour, so I think probably a nice natural point to wrap up on. What do you think?
I think we need to ask the same question we asked CBS last time.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because I think I just want to get a broad. What do you call it? So we asked CBS last time because I'm interested. It's an interesting question. Is what does success look like for you?
Freedom of time and deleting my crypto Twitter account.
At what point do you think you'll hit that? Is there like a net worth value you've assigned to that, or?
Maybe it's part of it, but I'm sure Jim and CBS have experienced it too. My account a year ago, such a cringy, but please apologize for the explanation. I had like 2,000 followers. Now it's growing, and with the growth and quote unquote fames, a lot of negatives, which I just don't fucking enjoy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you tweet anything and a month ago you said this, you idiot. And you're like, wow, does this really pain you that much? And maybe I'm just being emotional. It just why am I? Sometimes I wonder why I'm on CT even. Like it doesn't make my trading better. The social media in general doesn't make my life better. I don't have any other social media apart from Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I have Telegram. I have Signal and barely use Discord. And I meet people in real life. Guess I'm that generation still.
Yeah. What would you do if you had
quitting
freedom of
CT?
time?
Oh man, I would run. I would do stupid like run a half marathon
Like
in all
Forrest
continents.
Gump.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just going to run all day. Just going to run.
You'd run, play golf. I love sports.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I would not do? Sit 18 hours in front of 1 minute chart on Everflow. That's what I would not do.
Anything but that is the goal.
Yes.
Love it. Awesome. All right. Well, Runner, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
And looking forward to seeing you on Twitter some more.
Dude, I tweeted like 11 times during this stream, and I've taken 2 ETH longs, so it's a very good trade. So.
Oh god, good luck, sir.
I literally unfollowed everyone today.
I hope that doesn't include me. Come on.
Yeah, I think it probably did.
Oh,
I think you should block Josh instead.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can't.
I just can't read people's stuff. Anyway.
All right. Thank you. And thanks everyone for listening in.